What if, in just a handful of years, the smartest things on Earth weren't human anymore?
So AI has developed even faster than I thought. In particular, they now have these AI agents, which are more dangerous.
Slowly but surely, or maybe not so slowly, AI will keep getting better. And the day will come when AI will do all the things that we can do.
That's the question that's been haunting me lately as I scroll late at night through headline after headline about artificial intelligence. How it's suddenly everywhere, in our browsers, our songs, our stories. But here's what shook me. In just 1 year, the IQ of the smartest AI jumped from average human, 96, to nearly genius, 136. That's the kind of jump it took us as a species centuries to achieve. When we think of world-changing inventions, we pictured the atomic bomb, something so powerful it redefined warfare. But according to Leopold Aschenbenner's report, circulating right now in US government offices, the gap between today's AIs and what's coming next is bigger than the jump from an atomic bomb to a hydrogen bomb. One could flatten the city, the next, a whole country. But why are AI scientists so, well, terrified?
I don't know if we want to call it AGI, superintelligence, whatever, very capable AI system. Do you have a timeline in mind for when you think that's coming?
So a year ago, I thought there's a good chance it comes between 5 and 20 years from now. So I guess I should believe there's a good chance it comes between 4 and 19 years from now. I think that's still what I guess.
Okay. Which is sooner than when we spoke, because you were still thinking like 20 years.
Yeah. I think it may, there's a good chance it'll be here in 10 years or less now.
We're closer to artificial general intelligence, or AGI, than almost anyone expected. The heads of the 3 biggest AI labs think this could happen in 2, maybe 5 years. I mean, even famous skeptics like Jan LeCun are starting to update their countdowns. And here's the wild part. Once we have AI that can genuinely think, the next thing it'll do is start improving itself. Like, imagine if every time you learn something new, you could instantly share it with 1 million copies of yourself. That's the kind of exponential leap we're talking about.
What are AIs going to do with that planning ability in the future? Recent studies in the last few months show that these most advanced AIs, when they'll be more powerful, they would not just copy themselves on one other computer and start that program. They would copy themselves over hundreds or thousands of computers over the internet. But if they really want to make sure we would never shut them down, they would have an incentive to get rid of us.
When IBM's Deep Blue defeated Garry Kasparov in chess, it wasn't just a computer winning a board game, it was a warning shot across the bow, a sign that silicon could outthink even the best of us in our own playgrounds. Now AI isn't just playing chess, it's teaching itself kung fu and running simulated experiments thousands of times faster than we ever could. It's not sci-fi. Robots that once stumbled now do backflips thanks to reinforcement learning. AIs learning faster and smarter, simulating whole lifetimes in hours. In the emerging picture, the world's most advanced chip, the H100, matches the raw computing power of the human brain. We're on the verge of deploying 100 million of them. That's 100 million tireless AI workers poised to flood the economy and our daily lives, changing everything. The more these AIs research and improve themselves, the cheaper and smarter they become. Picture waking up one day and finding a once luxury car suddenly costs the price of a cup of coffee and is 10 times as powerful. But it doesn't end with economics or even science. Imagine militaries run by superintelligence, governments shaped by algorithms, and mosquito-sized drones, swarms capable of changing the course of a war or an election overnight. It seems like the classics repeat. The first Europeans to reach the Americas didn't win with sheer intelligence, but with technology, strategy, and the brutal speed of change. Superintelligent AIs would race ahead with all these advantages, learning from each other's successes and mistakes instantly, accelerating culture, science, and war. For most of human history, progress ticked forward at a crawl, but now it's a rocket that's lost its brakes. So are we really on the verge of an intelligence explosion, one that crams a century of upheaval in just a few years? Some of the world's top scientists, including the so-called godfathers of AI, warn that we are. Geoffrey Hinton, who left his job at Google just to sound the alarm, thinks humanity's odds of surviving this transition are only about 50-50. That's the gut punch. The heads of AI labs aren't just fantasizing about superintelligence, they're building it. They say it'll be here within the next 5 years, not 50. Thousands of scientists with no skin in the game have already signed a statement. AI could risk human extinction.
Extinction risk from godlike AI is not just possible, but imminent.
I think both Demis and I believe we are going to get superintelligence. It's not hype, and it's not designed to distract from other problems with AI. It's what we have believed for a long time. Now, I thought it would be much further away, but the speed of recent developments means I think it's going to be quite soon. I think between 5 and 20 years, I think Demis thinks in about 10 years, we'll get something like superintelligence. And there isn't going to be any regulation there. If you look at the European regulations, for example, they have a specific clause in them that says none of these regulations apply to military uses of AI. So governments are unwilling to regulate themselves when it comes to lethal autonomous weapons.
So what do we do now? Do we slam the brakes or hold on for the ride of our lives? If you want to see how this future might really play out, stick with me, because this is just the beginning.